Today we're gonna make this delicious traditional Greek dessert, Kataifi. To get started on making our kataifi, I have first melted on the stove 2.5 sticks of butter. So while it's melting, I'm gonna get started with making our mixture, which is our walnuts and almonds. So I'm gonna use 3/4 of a cup of whole walnuts and 3/4 of a cup of almonds in my favorite food processor. Perfect. So now we're gonna take this mixture and pour it into a bowl here. And we're gonna add to this mixture a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of ground clove. And we're gonna do a zest from 1 orange. So we're gonna do this over here. And adding to this mixture, we're gonna add in our melted butter. But while we're waiting for the butter, we're gonna get our phyllo ready. A lot of these ingredients are the same or very similar to the way we would make baklava, but this is actually shredded phyllo. So when we use baklava, we use sheets of phyllo and make it in a layered pan. This we're gonna make individual pieces. So we're gonna take our phyllo, and when I'm making this, I always take out the phyllo probably the night before, leave it on the counter so it's room temp and it's easier to work with. So we're gonna take this, and here's how it comes. And what we're gonna do, lay this out into, we're gonna open this and we're gonna make this into 15 equal parts. And you'll see here, it comes in like a loom almost. So I wanna make sure that when you make your pieces, you're gonna break that off on the top so that you break up the phyllo. Work with this here. And we're gonna make about this size. We're gonna do 15 equal pieces. So now we have our 15 pieces of Kataifi phyllo laid out all over my counter. Next, I'm gonna go grab our melted butter. So I have our melted butter here, and I'm gonna take 1/2 of this melted butter, I'm gonna pour into this mixture. Because you want this mixture to be, we want this to be pretty firm. We don't want this to be like running out of our little rolls. So we need to have the butter to really hold our nuts and our mixture together. Perfect, and then we have our brush and our melted butter, and we're gonna butter each one of our pieces of kataifi. So we have our butter on each one of our pieces. Next, we're gonna take our nut mixture here, and we're gonna do about a big tablespoon on each one. We're gonna put it right at the edge of each one of our little rolls here. Now it's time to roll. So when we take our little piece of kataifi here, we're gonna take the nuts and we're gonna roll this. And as we're rolling it, you're gonna fold in the loose pieces because we want to make a nice tight roll. Now, you have plenty of butter to hold this roll together. So we're going to just keep rolling it with our nut mixture inside. And we have all the butter all over. Of course, we're going to put some more butter on top. But look at that perfect roll. We're going to put that right into our Pyrex, but first I need to butter it. So we're going to butter this. Look at that, delicious. When I was little, I used to say that the kataifi looked like hair. It was like a little bit, it has such a different flavor, even though it's very similar, the ingredients to baklava. To me, I always thought that this was a little bit more interesting. I like the consistency, and the shredded phyllo, when it bakes, it really has a really nice crunch to it. So, and of course, you can separate this phyllo into different sizes as well. You can make them bigger and, divide it into smaller amounts. The other thing that I love is that this is a good dessert that you can make ahead of time. So you can do these rolls and put this in the freezer. You don't have to bake it right away, and you can bake it when you're ready. So we have our Kataifi rolls in our pan ready, and we're gonna take the extra butter that we have, and we're gonna pour that right on top. And this is gonna make it even more crunchy. Love that. Pour the butter on top. And if you had any extra nuts, you could sprinkle those on top as well. But we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes. While our Kataifi is baking, we're gonna make our syrup, which is 2.5 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar, and a lemon peel. Put that right in there. And we're gonna let this fully cooked until our sugar is dissolved, and then we're gonna let our syrup cool completely before we pour on top of our hot Kataifi. We've taken our Kataifi out of the oven, nice golden brown, crispy on top, looks great. So these are nice and hot, so I have our syrup fully cooled. So remember, the key is always one has to be hot, one has to be cold. So if you have your Kataifi cool completely, then you'll put hot syrup on top. So we're gonna take our cooled syrup, discard our lemon peel, and we're gonna pour this on top to soak up all the syrup. This will take a few minutes, but all of that phyllo will soak that up. No one said Greek desserts were healthy, but I'm gonna dig into this one. For the full recipe, visit nikkiglekis.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.